Hello everyone, my name is Miriam Cunha and I would like to share some messages I got last night during a self-healing moment because I've been battling some kind of flu. I don't know if it's that virus or not, but I decided to go into an inner self process of healing because I came across with a poem that talks about our cells. Actually, the poem it's called "Our Cells Can Listen." I am not sure if the poem is written in English or if it's only in Spanish, because what happened is that I was listening to a radio from Argentina called Mantra Radio, and there was a lady that works with quantum healing with a method that was developed in Germany. And then she read this poem that somebody passed to her. And that poem just clicked on me because that's all we need here right now. It's to send some love to ourselves. And I'm talking cells, cells, our every single cell of our body. But first we have to understand that the body is not what we are. I mean, we are inhabiting this body, inhabiting a body that is made out of matter from the planet Earth. So we are souls that inhabit this body. And the body reacts to everything that it's here on this 3D dimensional dual material world because it is made of the earth atoms that keep moving around and forming all of what composes this amazing universe that is our body. Every single cell with a DNA code that forms every finger, every nail, every aspect of the body that actually reacts to the programming that we bring as souls for our learning here. So it is a combination, right? So the body is not who we are, but it's what we are inhabiting, and it's such a perfect machine that reacts to the programming of our souls and our higher self. Our higher self, it's like, how can I describe our higher self? It's our connection with what many call God, many call the universe, or the word of how you call this force that maintains the universe running doesn't really matter. What matters is that you connect yourself with, I mean, your aspect of yourself that is experiencing this 3D dimension needs to connect with your higher levels of consciousness until you get in contact with your higher self, connected to everything, that knows everything, and it's God. But God, in this conception, is not exactly what many religions would say it is, like a man with a beard that is going to be pointing the finger and judging everything you say. The judgment, it happens automatically. It happens because it's all programs that run into this matrix called the universe. So we have our own programmings, and the body, which is made from a combination of DNA programming from two different beings, your mother and your father. So there is always a male and a female that get together, and through the most powerful energy that we have, which is sex, create another being with a combination, 50% of each DNA. At that moment, the soul inhabits that body. It's connecting to DNA programming from our ancestors. And you're carrying that. And depending on what you have chosen for your learning here, you will be compromised on healing not only yourself, but your ancestors as well. And that's where the experience I had last night kicks in. I had the fortune to meet Laurel Glenn, who is a palm reader, hypnotherapist, and nurse professional. And she made a reading for me of my palms. And the most important thing that I needed to hear from her reading was a point on my lines that shows that I, as a soul, have chosen to clear patterns from my ancestrals in a very short period of time. So she asked me if I was having any headaches, and because this is happening now on the timeline of my life, and that didn't click to me. But then I realized last night that this is the third time I get sick in 5 months, and I thought, well, that's getting ridiculous. What the heck is going on? I eat properly, I take vitamins, I exercise, I do my spiritual work. So what's going on, right? Why is my immune system so wicked? And then last night I decided to self-heal using that poem that I was talking before. The poem talks about you can talk to yourselves because they are listening. Because we are inhabiting an entire universe through this body. And the body is reacting to the vibrations of our souls. So our souls need to shift the vibration that is sending to the cells. And that's what's important right now, when we are being bombarded by fear. It's fear everywhere. Are we going to have enough to eat? Are we going to have enough to pay our bills? Is the war going to continue? Blah, blah, blah. And all this blah, blah, blah from all the media, from the social medias, from everybody is panicking. I wouldn't say everybody, because I know there are lots of light workers like me out there tapping into love instead of fear. I gotta confess that I was fearing a little bit the situation, but just because everything came so fast, although I knew these things were going to happen for a long time, I just didn't know the details on how they were going to proceed, but things were programmed. Everything is programmed. So if you pay attention to the bigger picture of things, if you talk to your higher self, you will know what you need to know. And that's one thing that you need to ask your higher self, to be at the right place and at the right time always. That is the programming for everything to go smooth for you. It's basically sending love to your cells. So what I was doing is like working on this upper body and the lungs. The lungs represent happiness or sadness. So if they get a lot of sadness, they get unbalanced and they lower the immune system and get sick. So this is all about sadness that happened with me, and that is happening with a lot of people that are getting the flu or the virus or whatever that is, the attack that is attacking us. I'm not going to get into the details of the ideas of what might be or might not be attacking us. The important thing is that you step out of the fear mode and get in contact with your higher self and start bringing love to your system, talking to your cells, and treat them like if they were your babies, that you love unconditionally, and say, hello, my dear, beautiful cells. Thank you for receiving this love that I'm sending to you. Thank you for resetting to your primal state of harmony and health. And they listen and they start reacting because you are the commander of your body. Your soul inhabiting this body, it's the commander of this entire universe. And that takes me to the concept of fractal or fractality patterns, because as above as below, as we are inhabiting an entire bigger universe, we are also inhabiting a smaller universe inside of us, which has infinite, well, I say infinite, but many, many, many thousands, millions of little universes inside and out. We live in an infinite sequence of patterns. We surf the waves of the patterns that are created. And I think that that's the message. The most important thing, summarizing everything, is that if you tap into the fear of the system and the fear of not having enough, the fear of how is it going to be after all of this, the fear of what's happening, you lower your vibrations, your immune system reacts to that and you get sick. And if you put your vibrations higher, trust your higher self. So this is all about unconditional love to yourself, and also faith. And I'm not talking about the faith that you give to a third party outside of you, but faith on you, on your higher self, on your spiritual being. Faith and trust that you are at the right place at the right time, always. Even if it looks bad, there is a learning that your soul chose to have from the experience. Or you compromised with, I don't know if the word is compromise, but you promised that you were going to do certain things to heal you and your ancestors, or who knows, every soul has got a different path of learning. Trust the process, because although in the bigger picture everything looks chaotic, in every single experience of each soul there will be a different experience. So it depends on where you are, what country you chose to be, what city you chose to be, with whom you chose to be. But you can always change things at every moment by programming differently, and program yourself to be at the right place and at the right time with a lot of love, surrounded by love, and sharing your love. I read on a group on Facebook yesterday many people with words that express the feeling of fear of being left on their own. It's kind of like the fear of the government can't help you, and if you call 811 here in Canada, you wait for hours and nobody answers you, or if you talk with somebody, they don't want to see you at the hospital. So people are panicking and feeling fear because they think that they are on their own and being left on their own to figure it out. Well, this is part of the major plan of things above. Like I was saying about the programming, above the little programmings we have, there is a bigger program too running on the background. Let's say comparing to IT and programming would be the platform that is running things. So this programming actually is set for us to be on our own right now because being on our own to take care of things, it's the greatest opportunity we are having to connect with ourselves, with our higher selves, to connect with unconditional love. Many will take this opportunity, some will not. The end result will depend on each one. And like I said before, if everybody creates a different manifested reality in the midst of the bigger thing that is happening. So now it was a message of having faith on you and your higher self and your connection to the goodness on inside of you. Don't worry about the government taking care of you, because we've been programmed by this system to think that the government and the churches and the institutions will always take care of everything. And that just took us out of actually taking responsibility for our own creation of our own lives. And this is the moment for everybody to step into that creation and responsibility to create your own reality with unconditional love. That's it. So now I remember what it was. Stay connected with your higher self, stay in tune with love, and have faith and trust, because every little thing is gonna be all right. Take your free time now to do things that you always wanted to do, fun things. I don't know, sing, dance, go for a walk while you can outside. Do things that make you happy. Tune out of the fear. And if you cross with it, just don't connect yourself with it.
When my eyes are shut, I see so much, so much. My mind's in a place where my heart won't go. Download a trip, watching on a TV screen. My body's numb, can't feel a thing. When the time is right, I'll catch a wave. I'll go higher and higher, and I can see the light.